This is my game lens project where I'll be analyzing the game God of War with the lens of reward. So as an introduction, the lens of reward looks at three main ideas. The first being, is the game giving out the right rewards? The second being, are those rewards being given out in the right amounts? And the third being, are those rewards being given out at the right times? Along with these three main topics, there are some questions that should be answered, and when looking through this lens. To answer these questions and the three previously mentioned, we'll look at the 2018 game God of War. And for some background, God of War is a narrative-driven action-adventure game that follows the story of Kratos and his son Atreus. Their goal is to deliver the ashes of Kratos' wife to the top of a mountain, but their path is blocked by various challenges and monsters. Throughout their journey, rewards are an important part of the game. So, we will start with some guiding questions and see how they apply to God of War specifically. The first being, what rewards are given out, and can it give out others? So, in God of War, there are four main types of rewards. They are currency, the main one being hack silver, as well as two consumables for the player, health and rage, and experience points. While these are the four most common rewards, there are also other more coveted currencies and rewards such as steel and frozen flames. Some rewards are not physical, as I was described the above to be. Players receive praise when it is due from Atreus, and when players attack in certain ways, they are rewarded with an increase in rage. The second question is, are players excited or bored when they get rewards? So, in my opinion, players are excited from getting rewards in God of War. Hack silver, while the most common currency, is not just lying around everywhere in the world. Instead, players must search for it in places such as chests, hanging barrels, breakable crates and bases, and earn it when they defeat monsters. The game system does not directly tell players all of these ways to earn hack silver, so it makes players feel even more proud when they are able to find these caches of the currency. When I first played the game, I tried to break some crates to see what would happen, and I was impressed when they shattered apart, and even more excited by the fact I could earn currency by going around and breaking boxes and such. While the amounts earned from this are by no means substantial, it gives players something else to look for when they enter a new area. In a similar way, God of War hangs treasure from the ceiling. Normally when playing a game, at least for me, the first place to look is not the ceiling. So when I do not remember to look up, I'm pleasantly surprised when I find a barrel and knock it down to earn rewards. Health and rage consumables are also exciting, because as a player, health is important, and rage makes fights easier and uses different moves or animations. Similar to hack silver, these are specifically placed on the ground in the world, so players must search for them and interact with them in order to use them, not just walking over them. For both hack silver and XP, players are also excited by these because since they are not found everywhere, but are needed for upgrades, there is always a demand for the currencies, at least while upgrades are still available. I would imagine if a player is able to max out every aspect of the game, then these currencies might become obsolete if not implemented differently. But for the most part, while these are still upgrades available, these rewards are exciting. So what we'll look at next is, do players understand the rewards, and do they understand what they're getting? So the first time I played God of War, I had only had Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance as a similar game of that genre and style. When I first achieved Hack Silver, I had an idea that it was currency and would be able to buy upgrades and such, but it was not very clear since no shop was available from the get-go. This was also went for rewards until I was able to visit the shop and realize what different resources could upgrade. And also, players find various artifacts along their journey, such as decorative masks or cups, and without aimlessly wandering the shop interface, I would not have known that 1, I own the artifact, 2, they serve no purpose, and 3, that I could earn a good sum of hack silver from selling them. When I found this out, it made finding these rewards better, but before that, my understanding of their role was unclear. On the other hand, rewards such as the health and rage consumables, as well as XP, were a bit more obvious to their understanding. Another reward that is very clearly explained is the rewards that are found in locked chests. These rewards, when earned, have a pop-up every time that explains to the players their significance and how many more of that reward they need before getting either an increase to their maximum rage or maximum health. So next we'll look at, are the rewards being given out too regularly, and can they be given in a more variable way? So God of War balances the ways the rewards are given out, and each are given in different contexts. So health and rage consumables are found randomly in the world. You can break boxes and barrels, you can earn them after defeating stronger enemies and bosses, and you can earn them through abilities. XP can be earned through completing various quests, it can be earned through finding artifacts or secrets, and currencies like hack silver can be found randomly in the world. They can be found breaking boxes, barrels, treasures hanging from the ceiling. They can be found in chests, after defeating enemies, after defeating bosses, and even after selling items. And with that, it's also important to note for the currencies is how they're distributed. So hack silver is the most common currency, with lesser amounts being found in barrels, with more being found on the ground, and even more being earned from killing monsters and bosses in chests. So this scaling of rewards gives players a rewarding feeling that equates to their effort. So smashing a crate is easy and rewards next to nothing. Defeating a boss is difficult and rewards a significant amount. So in a similar way, rarer currencies are almost never found lying in the world, and can only be found in chests or through defeating bosses. This makes these rewards more coveted without simply giving hack silver or making pieces more expensive for goods to balance it out. Since these are given less frequently, it makes players feel truly rewarded when they are earned. So just another note on hack silver, similar to our discussion in class about randomness, the amount of hack silver is not totally random, but every time it is earned it is not exactly the same. What I mean is that players do not know exactly how much hack silver they'll get, but they know the general range. So part of the game I'm currently in, I can be confident when I find a hack silver on the ground, or kill a monster, or open a chest, I'll get around 400 to 800 hack silver. And when I smash a crate, it'll be closer to 15 or 25 hack silver. If I defeat a boss, it'll be closer to 1500 or 3000 hack silver. So clearly I have a sense of what values I might get, but it's still exciting as a player to hit that upper end after defeating a wave of enemies, instead of always getting a constant amount. On the other hand, more rare resources such as steel are almost always dropped in sets of 1 early in the game, which makes it a little underwhelming at times, and it would feel more rewarding to have a range, even if it was 1 to 2 or 1 to 3, to let players feel like there is a chance of getting a better reward. And as the game progresses, this number does increase, but it would be nice if it was earlier in the game. So now look at how rewards are related and if they can be connected better. So I would say the rewards in God of War are somewhat related. Health and rage consumables look similar and affect health and rage bars on the display, so those relate to each other. However, the currencies and XP do not completely relate to one another. XP is dedicated to upgrading skills and abilities. Currencies such as hack silver and steel are used to buy new equipment and upgrade existing equipment. Where there's a bit of disconnect is when these currencies or resources are used to buy or upgrade equipment. Hack silver is the base currency for almost everything, but from there, other resources seem to be used without too much of a pattern, except that steel is typically a second upgrade. I think there could be a better connection if the way to exchange different currencies was introduced earlier in the game. So next we'll look at how the rewards build off each other. So the rewards building in God of War is just right, I would say. The rewards, yeah, and part of it deals with the placement of shops. As mentioned before, the part of the game I'm now in gives the various ranges for hack silver that scale up. However, at the start of the game, these numbers were all scaled lower, and some resources I cannot even earn. And similar to now, there's still some resources I don't have yet. This shows the rewards build off each other, and they're also scaled well in conjunction with shop placements. Players have to visit a dwarf to go to the shop, and every time I have seen a dwarf and gone to the shop, I have always had a respectable amount of hack silver, where I've been able to purchase or upgrade at least one thing. And to me this seems fair. I don't have enough currency or rewards to purchase the entire shop, nor do I have enough that I cannot upgrade anything. So similarly, the health and rage consumables are placed at a good pace. Sometimes it feels there's not enough, but if there were more, then the game would be too easy. So with the examples above, we can apply the lens of reward to God of War and to further explain its meaning and get a better understanding from it. And from our analysis, we can get answers to those original 3 questions. So first, if we look at the game, if it's giving out the right rewards, I would say that for the most part, yes. There is some disconnect between rewards, but there's not an excessive amount, and they are for the most part clear in their purpose. And then next we'll look at, are those rewards being given out in the right amounts? So yes, the rewards are being given out in the right amounts, and they're scaled appropriately as the game progresses. If anything, some of the more coveted resources should be given out a bit more frequently, but we would not want them to be too frequent or they would lose their status. So next we'll look at the if those rewards are being given out at the right times. And I would say yes, the rewards are given out at the right times. Hack silver is usually given after monsters are defeated, and other times when they are found when players are searching around. Health and rage consumables are given sometimes during battles, which is helpful to players who need a boost in the middle of a fight. And rewards that require thinking and problem solving are found at times when there is a lull in the action, so players are not fighting monsters and trying to solve a puzzle, which I appreciate. So overall, God of War can be analyzed with the lens of reward and see that for the most part, the game is successful with its reward system with just a few flaws that may be subjective to certain players. And that's the analysis of God of War through the lens of reward. Thank you.